Join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So first order of business is select board meeting minutes of October 15th, 2025.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second that, it's so drafted.
All right, is there any other discussion on the minutes?
I have no more review.
If not, all those in favor? All right, minutes are approved. So Roy Blomquist. Come on up.
How you do it here?
How are you?
Hey,
Good evening, folks.
good evening.
They just start?
Sure, yeah.
Well, basically, I'm Roy Blomquist and I'm a landscape and horticultural consultant and designer. And working with the Bristol area library on basically one of my friends sent me a note saying with a copy of the newsletter for the library saying that they had contacted 7 or 8 different landscapers and only one responded. So they were like, where do we go from here? So anyway,
Yeah.
Basically I was hired to help them put a plan together of how to improve the appearance and the maintenance of the library.
Yeah.
It appears that the library has been sort of tantalized with some donor who would like to donate money to the library for improved landscape, but they wanted to see better maintenance at the library.
Yeah.
And things were a little sad out there.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I did is I went in and helped them put together, upgrade the landscape maintenance. And they didn't know some answers like, why is it that we don't mow between the bookstore and the library itself? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, we just have to find that out, So we cleaned it all up and suggested that the contractor that's doing the mowing should start mowing it.
Yeah.
And when we came to the front entrance of the library on Old County Road,
Mhm.
basically there's a lawn area in the front that has a slight swale in it. I have photographs, and but basically, before you get to the part that's facing 130, there's a driveway there as well. Probably you're all familiar with,
Yeah.
where they have the free vegetables and stuff out front. But as you go from the front door down Old County to that driveway, there's a slight swale there, and then it kind of dips down. There's some shrubs in the gully.
Yeah.
And one of the things we proposed to the library is if we could clean that gutter out,
Mhm.
then we could, because there's a shrub and roses and daylilies and a little bit of everything down in there. So we'd like to clean it out and then raise the level. Right now, at about the corner of the building, it starts to do a deep dive down to go in the culvert under the driveway into the front of the library.
Right.
So what we'd like to do is make it so that when you look at the front door of the library, there's a nice lawn on both sides of the front. Right now, they've got a little wooden structure on the right-hand side. It's just a maintenance problem and it's all rotting out. So my proposal is if we just cleaned that out and made 2 little sections of lawn in front of the front door, it would improve the maintenance efficiency and the look of the entrance to the library. But basically what we were kind of wondering is if the town would be able to come in and backhoe or bucket that out to clean out the gutter, then we'll have a better idea of how much slope there is there. We'll probably have to put a landscape fabric in as we raise that level up, and where it drops down, put some landscape fabric that's some of that jute material that holds the soil there. But if a culvert, or not a culvert, a drain canister sort of thing needs to be put in there, then we'd
Catch drain.
ask the town, is that what you would want us to do there, or are we okay? Right now, and I have a couple of photos, there's almost no drainage down that way. There's a
Right.
slight bit of drainage back on Old County Road past the parking lot, and there's a swale there that's
Yeah.
kind of deeper.
Yeah.
So basically, we're wondering if the town would be able to come in there and do that. The part of the thing when we go to write up the grant request to this donor, and and they haven't divulged to me who it is or where it's coming from, but
Yeah.
they don't need to. But basically, when we put that together, what we'd like to do, what's always effective is saying, we're working with partners in the community to work on this effort to improve the landscape, and
Mhm.
the town has offered to come in and clean that out. We'll, in the end, we'll pull some more soil in there, and we're gonna put some more soil in the front,
Yeah.
where the bell and the flagpole are.
Yeah,
So I didn't know if it's possible to ask the town to do that. That's not the most important part of the request. The most important part is to say, yeah, we're working with the town as a partner to
Mhm.
make sure that we improve the quality of the appearance of the library and the efficiency of maintenance, because there's some issues there that just make it harder to maintain than it
Yeah.
needs to be,
Yeah.
We probably
So-
could do that, couldn't we, Chad?
Yeah,
On the
so-
road maintenance, yeah.
we could.
It would be great if we could, and
Get together with Sharon and Jack and see, go down, take a look at it and see if.
And
it's
if you want me to
something-
come and meet up with them, or before, I mean, during that meeting or after, I'd be
Yeah.
You
happy
probably
to.
should be there.
It will help you,
So just
help
so
them understand what I'm asking of
What
you.
you have, your
Yeah.
idea, what you're
We'll,
doing.
we can, I'll catch up with Sean and Jack and we'll take a quick peek at it just
Yeah.
to see what Sean thinks he might need.
And I
See
didn't
if he
even
can
know,
do it with the tractor bucket or whether it's gonna take more than that.
yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I would think it might need a backhoe, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Well, I'd be very
probably
grateful, and I'll report back to Carol at the library that, we're gonna follow up on this later, and I should come in and maybe ask Rachel or.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time,
Okay.
after I talk with.
So great, I appreciate it.
Yeah, or you wouldn't wanna leave your contact, your phone or?
Yeah, actually, I sent you a couple of emails, and I'm like, gee, I didn't get a reply. One was, I'm confirming the time for today, but so I must have that wrong, Rachel.
Oh, all right, well, I'll look. Here, do you wanna write it down?
Sure.
Write yours down, so stuff goes junk. I was saying.
I'm just, I'm terrible with my freaking computer all the time. I'm always like, oh, how did I screw this up? But. And my real name's a little boy, but. We're gonna also approach local contractors and ask them, what part they might be able to play in this.
Yeah.
So just so you know, it's not, we're just hitting the town.
Right.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't see it in the junk.
I must have.
I got a weird last name, so. I get it. Well, I'll email you and then at least you'll have the email address and then I will let you know. Thank you. Yeah. I think Thursdays and Fridays are best on this end, right?
Yeah,
I'm one of the last people at hotmail.com. Keeping the doors open. And I'll just give you my phone number. No. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you.
That's everything you need to know for
I
now.
think so, yeah, thank you for
Thank you,
stopping
guys.
in and we'll
Appreciate
see
your
what we
time.
can
Thanks.
find out. All right,
We'll try to make it, it may not be fabulous, but it will be easier to maintain and efficient, so thank you.
solar system purchase notice.
Do you have a copy of that?
Well, I had a copy of it.
So, yeah, this is, the notice to purchase it. You can send it, as of, I think, the 1st of November, up until the end of January.
Okay.
This is, I know Chad was on the Zoom call way back when we talked with the lawyers, but this is recommendation from the lawyers. They emailed a outline of what we're supposed to do. We have to give them at least 90 days and not more than 180 days prior to the end of the applicable contract year. So that is 5/1 or 5/2/2018 is when the contract started, so we will be in year 9 and 5/2/26, we're in year 8 right now.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest concern is, and I'll have to wait and see what happens, is them not responding at all, and then what do we do? But I'll have
Yeah.
to reach out to the lawyer for that answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
I will send a certified mail, so we have a, copy of it. And yeah, that's it, and I need just one signed.
All right. Probably should have a motion on this. So I'll go ahead and make the motion that we send the notice of exercise of option to purchase solar array system at 7 Transfer Road as presented. I have a
I'll
second.
second that.
All right. Any other discussion on the letter?
I have no more.
If not, all those in favor? All right, I'll sign this one then.
They have it in their contract, the original contract, part of the bylaw says that we have to be up to date on our payments.
Yeah.
We haven't received an invoice from them since end of March, so April, they bill us quarterly.
Yeah.
So I reached out to the bookkeeper I had on file, and she just said that they're so busy that they haven't had anybody go out and read the meters, so. I'll stay in touch with her just so I make sure that we are.
Yeah. We haven't received the bill, we can't be behind. can we?
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
But I don't wanna have anything, things that
Yeah.
are like, you didn't pay it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that. That's the answer I'm looking at. All right, bicentennial grant for 2020.
Yeah, so, I never forgot your request, Christine. This took me some time. So I tracked it down, reached out to the Maine Arts Commission, that's where the grant was originally distributed from. I emailed them in August, September, and October. And they finally called me. The last time I emailed, I gave them some suggestions of what we could use the money for in this town. So we called a guy named Eli who worked for him. He didn't work there when this grant was given out either. And he basically said he had gone throughout his organization and nobody had any answers. But basically because the bicentennial grant came from a mixture of different funds, that you really couldn't give it back because it was various people giving the money. In my last email, I suggested that we had 2 parks in this area. We had the Veterans Memorial Park that was being worked on and the Fish Ladder Park, and they thought that if we wanted to use the money for that, that would be a good idea. Or anything community oriented, they're not gonna have a problem with, so.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right,
So that's the answer, so we can, and. Yeah, so just, you have to decide what you want to use it for.
all right,
I'd sway to the veterans park, but
Yeah,
I think so. I think we're fine on this last.
I will say that they were more excited about the Veterans Park because they're currently working on a project at Topus right now, so they like the idea of that.
All right,
So, I told them after this meeting, I would email them and I'll let them know that we're going to give it over to our Veterans Committee and
I think that's fine.
wow, yeah, nice.
I'll just take that money and just put it in their capital reserve.
yeah.
So it will be
What's the amount?
5,177.
That's great.
Yeah, so we got 9,177, for the grant, and then 4,000 of it went to the OVHS, vault.
Yeah, thanks for checking into that. And if we could use the money, I didn't want to. Go away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
we
kinda
wanna clean it up.
get lost in the stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, good, great. All right, round on tennis court.
Yeah, so this is on the agenda. Mary Ann reached out and she was just reaching out to find out if you all had talked about it or made any final decisions basically about the agreement, because it was the maintenance part that was left hanging. So what you have in front of you, the top, so Mary Ann and I talked, I suggested that, I go, why don't you make a list? And then I'll make a list and, we'll see where we're at with it. So basically the top one is hers, the bottom one is mine. I think that we're both on the same page. I think she, kind of was going in the same direction that I think the town wants to go in. I reached out to Alan Madison for the survey. It was probably a couple of weeks ago. He said it was almost done. So I did tell Mary Ann that you may not want to talk about this until you have the survey.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
It's gonna be important because if we choose to do fencing and that type of thing, we need to know exactly where the property lines are, so.
Yeah, so I said, I'll put it on the agenda, I'll show them this list, they can go home and review the list but I thought it would be likely that we would table it until.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's-
Yeah, and I think it's important to make sure that we're all on the same page about future development, because I'm not sure everybody understands
Yeah,
that the town is, you know, the town needs to decide about future development. It just can't be,
Yeah.
things can't just happen,
Right.
and I'm not sure that everybody understands that.
yeah, I think, if they say, oh, we wanna add a children's playground, and they need to come to the town and say, this is
Yeah.
what we would like to do, and this is where the money's gonna come from, or,
Right.
and then. Like we did with the tennis court, it ends up going to a vote at town meeting. Yeah.
Because the way it's worded here, development in phases as money is raised, and that's fine. But I just wanna be sure that everybody understands that it takes more than just raising money.
Important. Yeah. Yes, has to follow the process and. All right, that sounds good. It's good, like I said, we need to keep it at the forefront here and. So that,
I think you can put that development, part in the agreement too, so
Mhm.
when people are signing it, they
Yeah.
have something to fall back on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we do. All right. Very good. Tax acquired property updates.
So I've got this is a letter for this map 8 lot 53. It's a similar letter to the one you signed at your last meeting.
Yep.
It's basically just a soft notice saying, hey, you need to come in, communicate with us. Or we may put your property up for sale because it is tax acquired. I tracked down there, this owner is deceased. She had 3 daughters. I've tracked them down and have their addresses. And I will send them out by certified mail.
Okay.
As I did the other ones.
All right. So we just have one sign off here, they get,
These, I might have pushed these up, so.
it's just,
That's
all
for Renee, so yeah, you all need to sign that one.
right,
And then who do you have? You have Jocelyn, who do you have? Jocelyn. Okay, so those are there's one letter for each daughter, so you all sign those and I can send them all out to their individual
so we need to
addresses.
sign that one, yeah.
Okay.
So, and there I said, there again, that's just a soft notice saying, come on in and talk to us so we can get this straightened out. I did some account research on this one and that's the other page, I think you're looking at. You have one of these, yeah.
That's
From what I can. It was leaned for the tax year 2015. And it gets confusing, but those taxes weren't committed to them until 2019, so that's when it became lean, it was in 2020. if that's what it should.
Yeah.
2015 taxes were committed in 2018. Basically what happened is they had a land installment contract and it sat idle, and then in 2018, they paid it. But in that time from 2013 through 2018, we weren't assessing taxes on them.
mhm.
No, it's gonna say that, excuse me.
Sign somebody else with me.
I signed it twice. Paul. I'll send that one back down. I signed in Christine's spot and my spot. That one's done. Alright. Yeah. I saw Blank's face and I filled it out.
So that's basically, so they paid off the installment contract, which is great news for us, because that was,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yes,
But then after 2013, we just didn't commit taxes to that thing at all until 2018. That's why you see those 2015, those -2 years,
yeah,
Yeah,
they were done after the fact. So I believe that it became tax acquired in October of 2020.
Hmm.
And they paid those taxes. But of course, it's not gonna be discharged until they're all paid, right?
Right.
Because that's how the foreclosure works.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yes.
Mhm, yeah.
I know
Okay.
this has been a long history on this with
Yeah.
in and out of
Yes.
foreclosure
Yes.
and liens and.
Um. We can, like we did with other properties, we can certainly remove the interest if that's something you're interested in doing, that will save them, it might save them up to $1,500. I went through back through 2012 for interest, and it came up to about $1,400 that you could subtract off the top
Hmm.
to help them.
It's probably appropriate on this situation.
Yeah,
I
yeah, we
don't
wanna
have a
make
problem
it,
with that.
we wanna
Um,
make it as easy
Yeah,
as we
so I
can.
went back to
from
two
the beginning.
thousand as well, because it was in that installment and they were paying the interest and you shouldn't have been. So I felt like, well, if we can go back give them that much back, then that would be helpful.
So what was the total right now?
Total principal due now $7,607.09. That's probably last week.
Okay. And then we subtract the interest from that, or is that?
Yeah, if you subtracted the interest and there were some costs that they were charged, that they shouldn't have been charged, that was, over $400. The new total is $5,746.14.
All right. That number you need, yeah. All right. Then you've got 0869 dash
That's,
003.
that's the, property on Sunnyside Road. I wanted to let you know that the grandson came in, he's interested, he went to the house. We talked, I just know he's interested, and they have like a deadline, their deadline is maybe the end of November. So, see what happens.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that they had communicated.
Okay, good. All right. Takes care of tax inquiry. So that's bridge information.
Yeah, people have been coming in and talking to me about the bridge. You got an email call from Bill Averill about the bridge. You must have talked to him at some point.
I have a thought on it too, but yeah, I can read
Yeah,
it, but
no, I've had several people approach me as well. This is, it's good. People are talking about it, and that's what we need is what people wanna do. And
yeah, about, this could be off the wall, but back when they built that bridge, of course, it wasn't geared for all the heavy traffic we have these days. But what would be the possibility of leaving that one as is and possibly putting wood guardrails on it, possibly foot traffic, and put a span beside it and driving the traffic around it, leaving that authentic as it is.
Yeah, we'd have to talk with I mean.
But to build another stone axe bridge to carry, those bridges
no,
weren't for tractor trailers and it's,
but
but it would still, the authenticity would still be there.
yeah,
And wood guardrails would, well,
the big question would be acquiring the property to
yeah,
do it.
do it, right.
And then do you know, how, you'd end up
Going to
obscuring one side or the other of the bridge from the standpoint of the view of it. Um, But it's tough because you've got the phone
the full building,
building.
yeah, I thought of that too.
Yeah, that
I
would be
actually, I went for,
probably a fairly large expense to relocate, I'm guessing,
yeah,
but, I mean, it's a possibility. And again, I mean, the town owns some property on the north, I'll say the
by
north side.
the, not,
Yeah, part of
by
the
the,
Ellenwood Park,
yeah,
I can't remember, is it Jake who maybe owns
Mhm.
Yeah.
on
Think
the
so.
other side? You know, we'd have to come up with some kind of an agreement, and we'd have to look at how much land you would need. You probably have to go, you know, based on this project, if we went with a 2-lane bridge,
yeah,
you know, you're looking probably having to go probably 50 feet further, if not more, to build on the new modern bridge. And then there's.
you're talking about, I'm talking about expanding one right beside it,
Yeah, that's what I mean, beside it, yeah,
one of those,
but but you'd have to go, you know, you gotta have enough room to have drainage and,
oh, yeah, I
and all
know,
that
this.
stuff.
I'm not an architect, it was just
but,
a,
you'd have to take quite a jump upriver to do it, and then there's probably not enough room short of moving the Masonic Hall.
no, not that way,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
it's,
and,
it could be just, maybe just studied a little to see if it's an
yeah,
option.
no, it's, we could,
Compared
Yes.
to $1 million.
yes, it's gonna be, whatever
Oh,
we do,
okay.
whatever
What
we
we
do
do
is
is-
north of a million. We
Yeah.
know, we just did a new bridge for 1.2 million, so we know it's probably gonna be somewhere around 1.2 million to build a new bridge.
Yeah.
And then it begs the question is, do you still need to do some kind of restoration work on the Stone Axe Bridge, even if you convert it to a footbridge?
Right,
Does it need something done to preserve it, you know, to keep it from falling into the river, even if you make it into a foot?
possibility, but.
So, but I mean,
Foot trap, yeah,
it,
okay,
yeah.
I'm just throwing it out.
No, and that's one of the suggestions that was made to me by somebody that approached me and said, well, why can't you just build a new bridge side of it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's
somebody else.
worthwhile to explore. all
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah,
options.
we could have the engineers look at it, say, how much
Mhm.
land would we need north of the bridge to build a span beside it? We talked at one time about, you know, of course, building a span over it, but then you'd kind of totally bury the bridge under a modern bridge and there'd be no walking over it or anything, it would be just a stone arch, but,
Now, just a thought.
yeah, but,
Okay.
no,
Good enough.
you know, we're certainly still at that stage where we need to explore all the reasonable options and,
Door number 1, door
Yeah.
number 2,
yeah,
or door number 3.
yeah, and,
The old road used to go through the field, though, didn't it? With the road that was
yeah,
by the bridge. The bridge right past them.
yeah, the Redon, I
Crossing.
think the Redon.
Redundant Bridge, there was a road up through there
Yeah.
at one time.
But,
Now it doesn't.
Yeah.
We can do that. but-
well, we could probably, you know, if we wanted to have the engineers take just a kind of a look at it as a proposal, say how much land
would you need to-
to go north of the bridge and, you know, and then get an estimate from the phone company, how much would it cost to move your
Building,
phone equipment
Mhm.
and all that? We could do that if we want.
no,
I mean, that is, like I say, it's that, I think that thought is coming from a lot more than, like I said, from multiple people, so. Is that a possibility?
yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
all right.
It's gonna be a fun project.
Yeah,
So there's some, I don't know, Penny Young's house, that's on the corner of Benner Road and Fogel Road, so that has some new owners. And he emailed and there's a quarry on his property that he's offered the use of if you needed stone.
Yeah.
If you read through the emails, he thinks that possibly the original stone could have come from that quarry because it's so close.
Yeah, It's very.
Oh, really?
But I was reading, it's funny because I pulled out a file for the Stone Arch Bridge and I was reading just reading some things and somebody said, and it was Russ, had an email in there that said they were field stones.
Yeah,
So maybe
Yeah,
they
that's-
didn't come from the quarry.
but, and that would be one of the requirements of restoring it based on the meeting we had a few years ago, is that
Hmm.
you have to use native stone
Yeah,
to, if you replace a stone, you gotta find a local stone, and this certainly.
but he was very excited
Yeah.
to share that with it and he would have no, he's very open to the town using it if that's what it comes to.
No.
And then, another, Bill Mullen stopped by and he gave me the name and contact info for a stonemason. His name is Dan Ucci.
Okay,
He's from Pittston, he owns Whiteville Creations, said he's worked with him, says, he knows Pete Anderson.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a collaborative effort
Yeah.
of multiple stone masons to get it done. It's gonna be an all-consuming thing.
Yeah.
And you better know how to do it. Yeah, this. It certainly is a dilemma. Because yeah, I guess we could, if we couldn't get it, if there wasn't room enough for a 2-lane bridge, we could keep the 1-lane bridge. If we built a brand new bridge, we could still do like we do now, just have a yield sign on one of them. It's working,
Yeah,
as a 1-lane bridge.
it is, so.
So,
Okay.
and that could potentially save money as far as the cost of the new bridge and also.
Yep.
Less land, would require less land, so. Yeah, any numbers of things, but I guess we can.
And then, Dan Sullivan owns Broad Arrow Farm. He has no problem with the temporary bridge on his corner down there. He did have some questions such as would the temporary bridge be a single lane bridge or a
It
double?
would still be a single,
Single,
I think there's only room enough for one.
And then, after the bridge was restored, however, it was chosen to restore, will it be wider? Would it be a single or double?
The new
The
bridge,
new bridge?
well, that's,
That's
Pending.
the question.
yeah,
Pending.
Yeah.
Pending thought.
if you restore, obviously, if we restore the Stone Ash Bridge, it's going to remain a single lane bridge.
Yeah.
If, so.
All right,
Yeah, all right, very good, things are moving on, I'm gonna try to go to the Masonic meeting on Monday night and see if I can have a discussion about it at the meeting, so we'll see what happens. All right. School construction bank accounts.
Yeah, so Paul, we were talking about this before the meetings, but if you look at the one with the blue and the orange color on it. If you can, they've been paying some of their construction invoices out of taxation. They're coding them up at the AOS office as regular bills. I've been going with it and just keeping them in the appropriate warrants, but I have been pulling the invoices that are clearly construction invoices. I don't know why they're coding them why they're not coding them as construction. So there's about $127,000 that's happened from June till now. And with that, and with the pre-construction costs from before, like before April 2023, you consider that against your balance on the school construction account, they have about $66,000 back. But I guess I present all this to ask permission, can I reach out to the school board and see if somebody will come in and go through these invoices to let us know what's what, because they still, because in another thing that's mixed in with these invoices is the enhancement things that they did, like the AV in the new cafeteria, and I know that they did like all their window dressings and stuff, they said at the ribbon cutting were all enhancements.
Yeah.
So I would just really like it if one or two members of the school board would come
I think you
in.
should, yes.
Yeah, because I know they've had another construction company in there doing things that were over and above.
Yeah, so some of them probably
So
are
maybe-
construction.
Yeah. But it would be good to just to make sure that it's being accounted for properly.
Oh, and then, on the subject of the school, they're meeting tomorrow and Fred Brewer will be there to,
Sure.
do their audit. So I was gonna go just because I'm really interested to see what before the construction, before these construction started.
Mhm.
What those numbers are.
Yeah,
I will mention it,
it's a meeting at 5.
5:30 at the school, so I'm gonna just mention that piece of paper, I'll bring it with me and. And,
Okay.
you know, just be like, can somebody come in and talk?
Good, all right. Sounds good. All right, non-resident commercial shellfish.
I took a look at the town office report and then I
Oh.
added all this other stuff and then it made the agenda too long, so.
Okay,
Just wanted you to know that DMR did not approve the allocation. They wanted to come down, they're gonna do a survey, I think on November 10th or 11th. They're gonna come down and survey Schoolhouse Cove. They were not excited about us dropping a non-resident commercial license. So we had two, we want to drop it to one. DMR's rule is you have to have for every 10 resident commercial licenses, you have to have one non-resident,
okay,
10%. And right now, we have 10 commercial licenses. So for whatever reason, they wanna make sure that before they approve that what our surveys are looking. I
Okay.
just wanted to share that with you.
fair enough.
Harbor Committee has been working on the derelict docks. Of course, the two over New Harbor have been taken care of. They still have the one in Pennaquid, and they would like to use some of their funds to possibly, to help remove it off the banking before it ends up in the water and in the mooring field.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
The comprehensive plan meeting on 11/17, got that date wrong.
11/17.
Yeah. 11/17, 11/17 at 6:30, right? No,
Right.
6.
Okay.
Max is just asking. He wasn't planning on any dedicated time for either the select board or planning board to speak unless you want to. So I'm just asking, do you want me to let him know to save 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
I think it's best if he manages it and keeps it.
Unless they ask us a question or something.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's what I thought, but I
Yeah.
wanted to buy you on. Also with this meeting, we had our first kickoff meeting for the climate resiliency study, and they're going to be there that night. They'll have a table off to the side, and that will be kind of the open house or the first public meeting requirement that's. Okay.
All right,
I have some other stuff that didn't make it, so I'm gonna rattle that.
well,
We're back to the overhead door on the sand shed. We never ordered it.
no,
I was kind of waiting to see what our budget would shake out to be, so this may turn into next year's expense. Sean wants to know if we should put it like an outside one, I guess it's interior now.
yeah. I think we should put an outside.
Yeah, I would agree. Right
As
there.
long as we put good heavy duty bollards in front of it so they can't back.
And this is just the door on his side, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so if it's okay with you all, we'll call them, we're gonna get it rebid, we're assuming that it's
Yeah.
not a current bid anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. And last. Not least is the paving projects for DOT next summer, so they're only gonna be paving where 129 and 130 split off. That's all they're doing in person.
Okay.
That's it.
Right,
That's it.
okay,
Where it splits off, so how far? Be by Hanley's?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can get the text of the email, but it was a very small portion. And they said 129, not even 130, so,
oh, so it's 129.
yeah, so it may be a little above that, but I doubt it. It's gonna be 129 when you split up.
Around the corner and that's it?
Yeah, and then they're doing a little bit. Yeah, they're doing a little bit when you get down, after you go down the big hill.
all right.
Hmm.
All right, select board financials.
There you go. So much for me. We got our first snowplow bill from Haven.
I saw that. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like you're on track.
Correspondence, I thought I saw some
Yeah.
letters.
3 thank you letters.
As always, we appreciate that, the LOK Network send us a thank you letter for the town's contribution to their operations, as well as help the kids, and we hope we fixed.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, it's always good to.
That comprehensive plan meeting is at 6:30. I had it wrong in the.
It is 18:30.
fix that.
That's 6 o'clock.
Some building permits here.
Put your tractor in.
My tractor is all parked in there tonight.
With a roof over it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, pay that much for it. You want to keep it covered, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's pretty few, that's unusual to have that many,
Yeah.
like,
No,
small projects, most of them,
most
but.
of this one, couple of big ones, but.
you
Yeah,
A wide array of
but it's
projects.
been
Yeah,
3 weeks too.
yeah, it's been a while, yeah.
And then I don't think you had any the last time. You had both weeks
No.
ago, didn't have any.
Yeah. There's, Lawrence, yeah. All right, that brings us to public comments. Any questions tonight?
I do have a question.
All right.
I was wondering if you could possibly explain the notice energy system.
The Bristol solar system?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it, 8 years ago now, or
2018.
2018, we, the town approved having a solar system put in down at the transfer station site. And, part of the contract was that after a certain period of time, that the town would be eligible to purchase it. And we've been setting aside money each year since the project started for that purchase, which is I think 85,000 is the maximum they can charge us. I think we have 83,000 set aside already. So we essentially have all the money to purchase it, and so it's a formal process, and this is the first step, sending out this letter that will allow the town to purchase it. And at that point, we'll own everything. We'll own the equipment, we'll own all the electricity it produces as well. Right now, we have an agreement to purchase the electricity it generates at a certain rate, and it offsets our regular energy usage here for the town, so.
You have a date that you're hoping to have it installed by?
It's all installed. This is actually, it's been operational for going on 8 years. And the way the program worked is the town didn't pay any money up front. It was the solar company did all the investment. They got all the federal grants and state grants that were available at the time. And then we bought the electricity that it produced basically for the town's use. And now we'll become full owners of it and we'll own all the electricity. So that electricity that it produces essentially will become a credit on an electric bill. And we won't have to pay anything to the solar company. Now, we will have to maintain the solar panels over time, but that's essentially it. It was kind of a lease to own sort of thing, so, yeah,
Do you know what date it was installed?
2018. I
It was
think.
May, the contract is May 2nd. 2018.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem. All right. Upcoming meetings, school board meets Thursday, November 6th at 5:30 PM at Bristol School. Planning board meets Thursday, November 6th at 6:30 PM here at the town office. The town office and transfer station will be closed in observance of Veterans Day on Tuesday, November 11th. Comprehensive plan public meeting is scheduled for Monday, November 17th at 6:30 PM at Bristol School. The Parks Department meets Tuesday, November 18th at 5:30 PM at the Ellenwood Center. And the next select board meeting is Wednesday, November 19th at 6:30 PM here at the town office. Have anything else to discuss before we go to executive session? If not, I will make a motion that we enter executive session pursuant to MRS Title I, Chapter 13, 405.6A to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
All right, we have exited. So we have exited executive session. Have a couple of items. So we have officially submitted a school construction project statement relative to interest payments that was discussed earlier in the year with the school board and school board council, and that report has been submitted and will be maintained in a confidential personnel file for the record. And also, we recommend that Rachel have our HR policy reviewed by our legal counsel to just check and make sure that it's in line with all Maine and federal labor laws. I think that's it. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.